Here we go. So first off, let's talk about yesterday. I said that if you just got the first term, you knew almost everything. Let's say just the first term was negative 5x to the 8th. Would the end of the graph be going up or down? Everybody think that through for a moment. Write this problem down and circle either up or down, because this polynomial would either be going up or down. So write that problem down. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you and the person next to you to find common ground on whether you agree or disagree about up or down. So I get it, you might both have different thing, and then you should talk about it. If the one person is like, well, I was just guessing, and the other person's like, oh, I know it's got to be up because of this. Okay? Here's who you're actually paired with for today. You guys are going to be an odd group of 3. Okay, triangle of 3. We're going to be forward and backwards. And these 2 rows, it's simple. Somebody across from you, except for you guys have to be a 3 in the front. Then over here, you 2 are going to compare long distance. You 2 are going to be compared because you're really close. You 2 front and back. And you 2 front and back. Okay, compare. No problem. Yeah. Catch up. All right, so who had the better arguments? I heard some people saying up, I heard some people saying down. How many of you went with going down? Raise your hand if you had going down. You are correct, and the reason is because of the negative in front, it's going down. So it's not going up, it's going down. How about the other end? Up or down? Okay, how do you get the other end? The other end has to do with whether or not they're the same on each end or different. You may recall I talked about a dog walking down the street on its front paws only. That would be different. Okay, so is this going to be a different or same or different kind of problem? It's about this 8 here. What do you say? Yep, because that's even. They are the same, and therefore it's down on this side. Do you get how it's... All we can tell is if it's the same or different. We don't know about the left side. We just know if it's the same or different than the right side. Okay, and then last but not least, this tells me one more thing, which is how many turns it will have. Say it if you know it. 7 is correct. Okay, good. So today is basically the same thing. You'll see. It's just that the problems aren't all multiplied out first. And we even talked about this a little bit yesterday. So that's our summary so far. And now, do you get that if you multiplied this out, you'd get this? And then it'd be pretty easy to see that the lead term was this one. How come he's the boss? Or not the boss, but you know, that got the biggest degree. Because that 2, the power, tells you the degree. All right? So if you looked at this, would you even see a 2 in it? No. But if you looked at it all multiplied out, you'd be able to see that that was telling you it was a second degree polynomial. And so you have to be able to look at one of these and go, oh yeah, this is going to be 6x squared. Look, see? 6x squared. How'd I get that? From this times this. All right, does it get more complicated than that? Definitely. But let's just make sure you really get that kind. Let's say I had 2x to the 3rd minus 1 times x squared plus 4. You don't have to multiply it all out, which is really nice. You do have to look at this and that and just tell me the lead term. Caroline, what happens when you multiply the 2 red ones? You are correct. And now we have our lead term. Now we can make those judgments like, oh, it's positive, so it's going to go up on the right. It's an odd one, so then it's different on the other side. So down on the left. And then it's got 4 turns. So it's going like this. 1, 2, 3, 4 turns. Cool. That's what it looks like. How'd I get that? From multiplying these out. All right, so here's the last little twist. Imagine it has this. X squared plus 2, and then x minus 3, but the whole thing is to the third. I want you to take a guess. Some kids are going to guess right. What do you think the lead term of this one is? Hint, it's not x to the third. What's the lead term that would go right here? It's x squared, and this x will be to the third, so you're right. X to the 5th. Raise your hand if your gut was to the 5th. Good, you were right. Okay. Now, is that positive? Yeah, so it's up on the right. It's odd, so it's down on the left. And how many turns would it have? 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns, 4 turns. See? 1, 2, 3, 4 turns. Okay. That seemed too easy? Yeah. Reason? We're going to be doing a little first 20 today. And it's just going to count in the homework category, but I want to see where everybody is on the first 20 right now. So I'm going to let you get started on the homework so that we can kind of get a little bit of that under your belt. So everybody find the homework for today, and it's another worksheet. And last time I cut it in half, and I will again. So would you please pull up the worksheet? I'd love to look at it, because sometimes, like when you say, if it's labeled with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and I say do the evens, it's like, what the heck is an even letter? So I need to see it. You got one? You got it up? Let me look at it. All right. So then let's just do 1 through 4. Cut off the last 2. Just homework is to do problems 1 through 4. Would you read me problem 1, please, Tyler?
F of x equals 4x plus 1 times 2x minus 1.
Now, unless they make you in the directions, I'm not going to make you multiply it all the way out. I'm only going to make you multiply out the thing that gives you the biggest term. So all you'd need is to go, I like to say y equals, even though it's f of x, I still personally like y equals 8x squared. And that tells me everything. It tells me the end behavior, like right and left side. It tells me the degree. It tells me all these things. So, Tyler, last time I'm going to bother you. Can you tell me I think there's several questions you're supposed to answer. What's the first thing you're supposed to tell?
Leading term.
Lead, and then what's the next one?
Degree.
Degree, next one.
Leading coefficient.
Lead co.
And then end behavior.
End behavior. All right, so here's how you do it. The lead term is that. That is the lead term. The degree, it's that power on it, which is degree 2. The lead coefficient, that's the 8. And the end behavior, there's 2 parts to that. There's the right side, which I always do the right side first, because the other one is only the same or different than that. So do the right side first. And since this is positive, it's up. Then what's the left side gonna be? Say it if you know it. Up. Why did you know that they had to be the same as each other?
The exponents.
Because the exponent's even. That's right. There's your answer for number 1. So this comes from whether there's a positive or a negative here. The left side, we knew from this that it had to be the same as the other side. Okay. All right, so do problems 1, 2, 3, and 4. We just finished number 1. And this will be really easy. And then, in a minute, I'm going to put up the first 20, which will take us 20 minutes. And then it'll automatically self-grade for you. And I just need to see where you're at on those basics, because it's my job. It'd be really easy for me to just go sit over there and get work done. But it's my job to make sure that you've got all your basics from last year, too. Okay, make sure you got all your basics down. And that'll help you come into next year as strong as you've ever been in math. Instead of a lot of kids, unfortunately, have weaknesses, little holes, things they've forgotten. And I can't afford to let you have those holes. It'll really hurt you down the road, especially in pre-calc. Okay, so the rest of the hour, if you're watching this at home, you're going to go look at Schoology, and there's a Schoology quiz in there that'll have a first 20, and we're going to take that in class today.